That sounds like a 10 comp. Splash. Splash, Ultra Burst, S Blast. Okay, what's your comp good at? Let's start going through this, right? You want to win, like, forget the top team part, right? You want to win. You have Ultra Brush, Splash, S Blast, Edit. What is your comp wants? What do you do? What is it good at? That kind of thing. Okay. I didn't realize that was a Hydra. That was a very stupid play to go for against Hydra. Normally like bubbling ahead of tower here, but they have slide, so I'm gonna put it behind tower. No. I walked in that? I noticed that we're personally looking at 2 minutes. Okay, fair statement, but not what I'm asking. I don't mean what you guys as players are good at. I mean, what's your composition good at? What does it do? What makes it special? Like, objectively. There's like a common goal of the weapons you have. Okay. I should have just bubbled earlier. Some good teams have a goal in playstyle. I said every good comp has like a goal in playstyle, yeah. Like teams have an idea that they play towards. That's where we're going. Weapons are all top tiers. That is a very good example of a bad answer. Also, there's like 2 bubbles and a booyah. Holy shit. I didn't get that last guy. The Hydra. Playing very fast and fluid. Okay. A little. You got brush mobility. Splash is like decently fast. Edit's fast. But I wouldn't say you're really a mobility comp. Like you have one weapon that kind of fits a mobile playstyle. So I wouldn't say it's like a team goal. Like, I don't think your S-Blast is going to be dodging around people or anything. Should always be, like, a group of 4 sense, like a collective, not a, like, individual playstyle thing. I'm going to have to get, like, so close to this team, and I don't know how I'm going to do that, because I have to walk through this trench. Okay, let me try and help you out a little bit, right? Let's say you fight like a standard meta comp. Let's say you fight like S-Blast, Stamper. Well, Splash isn't really standard anymore, but let's pretend it is because it's kind of new, right? Let's say you fight like Splash, Stamper, S-Blast, Pen, right? Like some genuine normal shit, right? Where do you think is like the best, like what's the best way to fight that comp with your comp? How do you create fights where your comp is more likely to win a team fight? What situations do you want to look for? Because the goal of your, like, you know, whatever playstyle it is, like, meta or not, the goal of your comp should be trying to play to, like, where you're strongest. You have a strongest area, or an objective that you have, and your goal is to play to that objective as much as possible. The more you play to your, like, own team's objective, the more you'll win. This is called a win condition, generally, right? A win condition is, like, what you are playing towards. It's like, if we do this thing, then we will win, because our comp is good at this, right? That's a win condition. So what I'm trying to get at is, like, if you understand what your comp is good at, if you understand what kind of situations lead to you winning team fights, then you understand what your comp is good at and when you should be playing towards. Then you can work on, like, plans, strategies, etc. that set up those situations as much as possible. Yeah? So let's get a map planner here. Let me open things up. Let me go coach mode for a second here. Let's Sendu Inc. Let me actually pull this up. Let's get a map planner, right? Where's, I don't know where this is. Planner, Scorch Stones. Let's see. I don't even know what map to pull up. It's like a normal map for this, I guess. Do Mansa. Let's do Mansa. Okay. Did my window capture break? I think it did. Okay, there we go. Playing off angles. Okay. Okay. How do I even start this right? No, I need a better color. Okay. So let's like pull up, like, let's pull up your comp. Let me get an edit splatling. Where's an edit? There it is. You have, like, this thing. You have, where on earth are the brushes? There they are. They're next to rollers in this. I'm guessing you're playing this one, or, like, the Kraken one. It doesn't really matter as long as it's one of those two. I'm guessing that's the one you're playing. You got, like, a normal splash guy, and then we have an S-Blast with this comp. Where's the blasters? Right. 2, 3, 4. I have the weapon right before we start, so this little combination. Yeah, Octobrush seems out of place. Why? I don't think Octobrush is out of place, but that doesn't mean you can't think it's out of place, but I don't want you to just write Octobrush feels out of place. Why does it feel out of place? That's not a complete thought, right? Okay. So, I like to generally start out, before we get to, like, what is it? Before we get to, like, thinking about the comp too much, I'm gonna go really slow with this, right? Let's get, like, something very standard. Something very standard here, right? Let's get strengths. Our comp is good at these things. And flaws. Our comp is bad at these things. Let's start making this list, right? What's a positive thing about this weapon comp? What is something it does well? And there should be, like, all together. All together does well. What do we have here? We already listed one, right? We have chip damage. We can say chip damage. We have, like, Tooth, Burst, Octobrush, S-Blast, AoE. That's fine. Nothing. It does not have nothing good at it. This comp is a totally fine comp. This is, like, almost a normal meta comp. There's just an Octobrush in here. So, like, the comp is definitely fine. Kill time? We don't have too many one-shots here, really. Octobrush's kill time, I wouldn't say is fast. I think the only fast kill time you have is, like, either S-Blast or, like, maybe full charge edit splatling, but that only applies to full charge edit. Right, we mentioned off angles combining Octobrush fall off with S-Blast AoE. Okay, that's two different things. We have AoE, question mark, right? I don't think this comp actually is very good AoE. I think you have short range AoE. I don't think you have long range AoE, right? Your S-Blast long range isn't going to consistently hit people, but up close you have, like, the S-Blast shot, you have Octobrush, you have, like, double burst, like, you have plenty of shit to play around there. So yeah, if you're, like, if you have this position over here, right? If you have, like, your brush or your S-Blast here, you are, like, really good at covering these kind of spots where people have to, like, climb up into you or stuff like that. Guys, good retake with Crab and Booyah. Yeah. We have retake tools. Retake specials. We have tanking specials as well. Like a lot of tanking power. We have Zip to stay alive. We have Crab. We have Booyah. All that's fine. Paint. Paint's okay, but I wouldn't say we're playing around paint. Okay, what's it bad at? What's something this comp struggles with? There is a big one, and I'm going to see if anyone names it. Like, the one thing that this comp is really genuinely bad at. Low lethals. No, that's not a big problem. You don't need a shit ton of lethal bombs. That's not going to be, like, a flaw that's going to, like, ultimately get there. Okay, range. We don't have a lot of range. What else? Damage? No, we have DPS. There's plenty. Pen. Pen is a weakness, I see. Contesting open space. There we go. Yes. Open space equals very bad. What does this comp do when it wants to take a fight in the open? What weapon wants to fight in, like, a flat terrain? Like, if I have one guy here and one guy over here, I don't know a single one of your weapons that wants to be this guy. I don't think any of them do. You're gonna get shot at by Pen, like, really badly. Pen will just shoot you across the map, and you don't have anything for it. Why did my text on the flaws go away? Where did it go? Okay, range, open sight equals very bad. Right. Okay. Alright, I think this is a good enough list, yeah? Squeezer eats the comp alive. That's true, but good news, no top teams have a Squeezer in the West, so they don't have to worry about that. Nobody's gonna pick it anyway. That's just one of those matchups you don't gotta worry about because no one picks the gun. So good news, not a problem. Okay. So, right, we look at this. Let me give, like, another example. Let me start with something else, right? So I said this comp is really similar to a meta comp, right? Let's put a sword here. Let's pretend the brush is a sword briefly. We'll get back to it being a brush later, but for now, just pretend it's a sword, right? Pretend this is a stamper. Bad against bubble? Okay, maybe it's bad against bubble, but how much bubble are you fighting? Is that, like, a game-losing flaw? Like, it's not that it's not there, it's like it's not general enough. Like, unless you're fighting, like, a triple bubble team, I don't think this is going to be a huge problem for you. And if you're fighting a triple bubble team, you'll probably win anyway because they're picking triple bubble. And, like, most triple bubble compositions aren't actually good. Okay. So, with Stamper in this comp is made to cover these things. That's why Stamper is really good with this trio. Stamper outranges all these guns. It covers it. It fights in the open. It can also zip the enemy. It likes open sight lines. It gives you another burst bomb. Like, it stacks on this. So you give up that Stamper, and you don't compensate. The comp with Stamper doesn't have as many flaws, but you get better strength. Mainly, you're very good at bullying anything in short range. Like, what's a weapon I wouldn't want to play into this comp would be a weapon like Dooley. I don't know what the fuck a Dooley is going to want to do into this comp. I don't think Dapple's going to really want to play in this comp. Does it mean it's unplayable? No. But it's pretty good at that. I mentioned you have spots like this that are very good for you. Same for spots like this. Any little ledge camping position on the map is very good for your comp, right? Anywhere your short-range guns can sit, and if anyone peeks, they get AoE'd to death. All of that is really good. Another thing that you have covering for you is your specials, right? I mentioned open sights were a problem. That's why you have a crab. That's why you have cast to skip the open sight lines and go fight behind them. Stuff like that. That's why you have Booyah for your brush to shark in. You have stuff like that, right? So you have specials to cover it. But if you're going to fight like a normal pen comp and you want to win, you need to take fights that aren't like this. You need to avoid this as much as possible. So your win condition is to take a fight somewhere close range favored. It could be close range AoE favored if it's even better, if it has like ledges and cover. It's like fighting up close on a map like Humpback. It's probably really good for you. Fighting on, like, the stacks on Mako Mart. That's really good for you. The bunker on Manta. Positions like that, very good for your comp. You have an advantage. Take fights there. Your edit wants to take fights with their midline guns. It doesn't want to deal with pen. Get the edit out of the pen sights. Stuff like that. Yeah? Yeah, maps like Flounder are really good. Another map that's good. Okay, Urchin is in here. I was gonna bring up Urchin, but Urchin's not actually in Sendu yet, right? This map, very strong for you guys. Flounder, very strong for you guys. But let's say you're not on one of these stages, right? Let's say you're playing, like, what's a neutral map? Let's do Mahi. Let's pick like a straight up bad map for your comp. Can I get one with the water? Okay, pretend the water's up, right? Here, let's like overlay. This will be a good example. I'm just gonna like outline where the water drops because it's not like up. So pretend like all of this is still here. Like all of this is actually like up. Okay. So let's say I didn't draw my line properly over here. Okay. Whatever. That's not like fully accurate because there's like not this, but whatever. Okay. So let's say your team over here gets a hold. Let's say you get map control, pretend the water is up, and you're setting up as a team. Where do you want to play? And more importantly, where do you not want fights to be? There's good positions for you guys, and there's good position for without it. You don't have to be the person that answers this. General in chat, where does that comp want to fight in? Same comp. Where do we want to go? Let's say we get map control, there's like 4 down, and we can take any part of the map we want. Where are we going? How do I set this comp up so it's likely to win? Ledge. Okay, so these are fine. Yeah. We talked about ledges. Where else? Where else is good to fight? Let's say they get past the ledges. Where else is okay? Take cover. Okay, where's the cover? Where? Take cover. Where? Where am I going? Our snipe. Okay, a little bit of cover here. That's passable. On the pillars. I don't know what you're talking about with the pillars. This is not a map that has pillars. Legend Chara on right. Okay, yes, this area, right? What's good about fighting over here? Or let's circle like the wider area. Like this whole spot is good for you because we have like cover, chair. You have like a little block here. You have ledges you can sit under. You have like an easy area to push up. Right. So if I'm the enemy team, let me switch back to Splatoon real quick. Let's see here. Let me get like on recon, right? Let's walk over here. Let's get to zone Smahi. Okay, the water isn't dropped here, but this will be like... Actually, no, it won't. The chair's not there until the water's dropped. We gotta drop the water, right? Let me go over here. So channel point redeem? Nah, I just feel like this today. Someone asked. I feel like going in more detail. Okay, that's paint zone. Alright, hold on. We gotta burn 30 points a time for this to drop. Because it's Mahi. And I chose to make my example on the one stage that has timer-based terrain. Okay. So, let's say I'm the enemy team. And I'm, like, up here, right? I want to talk about something else that makes all those positions very valuable, okay? So let's say I'm the enemy team. I'm coming up spawn right here. What do you notice about, like, all of the positions that I just talked about? Like, think about it from my POV. Like, just pretend I'm, like, some defending guy. I'm, like, throwing bombs or paying special or whatever the fuck I'm doing. Like, I'm doing a normal retake thing. And pretend there's, like, an enemy team in those kind of positions. Like, think about my camera view. What's relevant? And if you want, like, an extra hint, think about what it'd look like if I faced this way. No LOS. Right, line of sight. If there's a guy here, I can't see them. If there's a guy, like, behind this wall, I won't see them. They can hide behind here. They can hide, like, behind this wall, right? There's a bunch of places where I can't actually see them. If you're a short-range comp, you really want to play off the element of surprise a bit. You really want to play off of lack of sight, right? The less the enemy team can see you, the more they have to react to you, and you're going to find easier kills. Especially because, like, your S+ double AoE or your Octoburst kill times aren't actually that fast. It's like, ideally, they shouldn't already be aiming at you. Over here, I can, like, see everything. Right? So it's sight as well, right? It's close range favored, it's a lot of ledges, but also there's a lot of cover. It's hard to actually see, and so because of that, even if I'm, like, a cautious player on the other team, and I want to clear this chair, how do I do that in a quick manner? I don't really have a quick way to actually check all of this, right? Like, even if I'm checking all the, like, different pieces of cover and falling in the water and all that shit, right? I can't actually, like, it's going to take me time to clear all of that. Now, when you get to top level, eventually, people are going to understand this as well. They're going to see your short-range comp, and they're going to go, okay, we're going to go this way. And they're going to say, fuck that, we're not dealing with any of that. I'm just going to go this way and retake zone over here. Because why the hell would I deal with any of that if I just now understand how bad that is? Like, why don't I just go over here where there's open sight lines? So then what your comp is going to have to do is figure out how to stop them from doing that. You're going to have to try to force the other team to play this position. So, for example, if you have a Booyah Bomb, you can sit and hold Booyah in the air so that they can't drop down here without you throwing it at them. You can pop your Crab over here, right? You can pop Crab and prevent that area from being accessed. Stuff like that, right? So you'll start having, you know, little contingency plans for dealing with the counterplay that your other team has to do. And eventually they'll understand that you're going to do that and they'll have their own plans. And that's how, like, we have a game developing, right? It's like this clash of strategy back and forth. Yeah, bombs, that's fine. Like, you can have your Octoburst spam suctions over here, I guess. But, like, you don't really have a lot of lethals to spam down here, so I don't know if that's the strat you want to play too. Okay. I've turned a very simple question into a, like, random, like, 15-minute ramble, right? So, what is my point, right? My point, if you want to beat a top team, or if you want to get good at this game in general, right? Understand what you're running. Understand what it's good at. Understand what it's bad at. A lot of what can help with that is understanding the meta compositions in the first place. Because meta comps work the same way as all this. People like to do this kind of thing where they talk about off meta comps and how they play and what makes them special. You should know how to do that exact same conversation with meta comps. Because meta comps function the exact same way. Right? They're not any different than all these. Meta comps have things that they want to play to. They have strategies that they need to play. They have things they want to do. And in the same way that I said, look, you guys play a short range comp, so the other team's going to want to play like this. If you want to beat the meta, you should understand how to do that same line of reasoning with a meta comp. Okay, we're fighting Stamper, S-Blast, Pen, Splash. What do they not want to do? What are they bad against? What are situations they don't want to be in? How can I get into those situations? If you don't look at the meta comp and you don't understand what it's good at, you will not win. Like, being able to make sufficient off-meta comps can only happen when you understand what the meta is in the first place, why it's picked, what it's good at. Because, you know, any successful off-meta composition comes at it with the knowledge of, okay, this is clearly what they're trying to do. This is what I can do to, like, beat it. Alright.